What each of us is looking for is to be seen, heard, and valued for who we are and the unique gifts we each bring to relationships. Whether we are conscious of this or not, we are looking for a heart-to-heart, loving connection. To create this connection in couple dynamics, we need to understand our own personality, fundamental core emotional need, in order to feel loved and allow others to love us. And we need to know this about our partner too. Then we can support each other with our insecurities and have common knowledge to help each other grow. It takes conscious awareness and choosing to stay present in the connection. Most importantly is incorporating the behaviors specific to your personality type that will help you become the best person you can be and get loved the way you need. Hi, I'm Eileen Head.
And welcome, I'm Sean DeGrieve.
Congratulations on taking this step to create a more conscious and loving relationship.
This online series will help you figure out what's not working and remove the confusion.
And figuring out what makes each other tick.
Tick? What do you mean, talk?
That's a good point. When we learn what makes each other tick, then we can talk about it.
And that's how we start off. We start to recognize both your personality behaviors.
Your partnership styles and the gifts to your relationship.
And we are different, so we understand our differences.
Stepping together.
And we want to become our best selves.
And how to get loved the way you need.
We will guide you with a step-by-step instructions as you go through this process. We highly recommend that you watch these series together and take turns about learning about each other.
And after each section, in the operator's manual, there's lots more information, and there's exercises that you can work together on to understand each other at a much deeper level. This is an opportunity to embrace your very best selves. Hi, I'm Eileen Head. I am very excited about the Get Love the Way You Need program. As a child in my family of origin, I often felt like we were individual planets, rotating around each other, all lost in our own little world, attempting to get the most love and appreciation and acknowledgement. So when I met my future husband at 16 and married at 18, I thought I'd met my Prince Charming, and we would be married forever. We were married for 35 years and then divorced. And I was even more confused about relationships. We just never felt that connected to me. I needed more connection. And I didn't know how to create that. And I tried many different things. I read stacks of self-help books. I took lots of workshops. I read marriage manuals. And I often wondered, what's the secret? There must be a secret to relationships. After I left the marriage, I found the Enneagram personalities. And when I read my own profile, it was the biggest aha moment of my life. There were things in there that I didn't know about myself, great things, the things I do, the things people appreciate, what's challenging for myself and for others. And then when I read my ex-husband's profile, I knew more about him, our relationship, and myself than in the 35 years that we'd lived together. And I could see the dance that we had been doing and how we had misunderstood and misinterpreted what each other did. And this is why I'm so passionate to present this information to you. I know that each of us are looking for validation for who we are and the relationship gifts that we bring. We're looking for that connection of acceptance and love. And that's why I spent over 2 years researching and creating this program. To firstly, help you understand and accept yourself and show you the gifts and natural talents that you have. And most importantly, to become the person you are meant to be. Secondly, to give you insights and awareness to meet each other's core emotional needs, to help you communicate and connect and understand each other, and most importantly, how to get love the way you need to be happy. There are many dynamics that make up our personalities, such as our home type, the wings is what we call it in Enneagram talk. Those are the personalities on either side of our home type. The behaviors we do when we're stressed, and the behaviors we learn to grow to become our best selves. I hope you will find this program as life-changing as I did for me when I was researching and discovering all the different personalities, relationship styles, and what they need. I would like to add that this program is not as tight as I would like it to be. There are over 925 plus final video takes, 2 years of research, many hours to create the program, and I could hold it back and keep attempting to make it better. But as a two supporter, it's more important for me to help people and to just get the program out there. And so perfectors, you might see some imperfections. I hope you will still enjoy the program, all of you, and learn about yourself and how this can be life-changing for you.
Let's get started.
Identifying your different patterns and behaviors is fundamental to getting love the way you need.
Why is that?
Each personality feels loved and appreciated differently.
Did you know that not all personalities love slow walks on the beach?
What?
I know.
Who wouldn't love a romantic walk on the beach?
But that's why we're going to give you an overview of both of your personalities.
And how your personality would describe themselves.
And what gifts you bring to the relationship.
You're going to start getting answers in this very first section. Welcome back. This is about the indecisive, sometimes disconnected, and procrastinator, and is based on my interpretation of the Enneagram Type 9, which I call the peace seeker. We value them for being nice, relaxed, likable, non-confrontational, and seeing all sides. And this can look like going with the flow, they're easygoing, peaceful, and being non-judgmental. We appreciate them for being solid, stable, steady, calm, and the Rock of Gibraltar. They teach us not to sweat the small stuff. Stop and watch the grass grow sometimes. They are calm in a crisis with no fuss, which can be very grounding. They don't get too excited, or they don't show it, and often we wish we could relax like they do. Peace seekers show us that other people matter, and that we need to put aside sometimes our own needs to focus on others. Self-sacrifice can be necessary at times, and 9s do it without complaining and with grace. They make the world a better place. Peace seekers show us that graciousness, thoughtfulness, kindness, and humility go a long way to making more loving relationships. They are eternal optimists as they tend to focus on what's good in life, believing that everything will work out in the end. They experience life at a much slower pace than the other 8 personalities. Peace seekers are good-natured, humble, unpretentious, friendly, calm, and patient. They have a pattern of going along to get along to keep the peace. And they choose a life that avoids unpleasantness and conflict. What's the point of that? Life's too short. They worship at the altar of harmony and identify themselves with the role of peacemaker as to who they are. This means avoiding conflict. Are they always able to do that? Well, they attempt to avoid conflict at all costs, and this means saying yes when they mean no, and merging with others' agenda to keep life simpler. What does merging mean? Well, 9s say it is a mystery to them, too, how merging happens. It is like all their attention is focused outside of themselves on you to understand what you are feeling, needing, and how they can accommodate you. Some have referred to this as sort of like being on cruise control. They like to present themselves as being undemanding and easy to be around with no agenda, a friendly and likable person. They are sweet until you attempt to get them to do something they don't want to do. Then it's a different story. They will see that as control, dig their heels in, and tend to become stubborn. How does the stubbornness show up? Well, they like to do things at their own pace, and they don't like to be pushed. It can show up as passive-aggressive behavior, agreeing with you in the moment to avoid conflict, and then not following through, being responsive, or telling you that they have changed their mind. This happens when they feel they have been overly accommodating and their own needs are not being met. But speaking up might cause conflict. And the passive aggressiveness can be difficult to pick up on. How do you hold someone responsible when they appear to be so likable and accommodating? Peace seekers feel they give up who they are and what they want for the other person. And then they become frustrated because they don't get their own needs met. Peace seekers are easy to be around as they are so relaxed, accepting, and go with the flow. They get along with everyone, and so they're enjoyable to be with. And they make us feel good and at ease with ourselves as they are non-judgmental. They have low expectations, so others can relax around them. Just keeping pace with their energy calms and slows things down. Peace seekers believe that everything happens as it should, so therefore are one of the most trusting personalities of life. When you can let go and let it flow, there is no need to worry, and so you can relax. Nines truly live in the now and live from the perspective of what is and accept the way it is. They identify with the laws of nature and are grounded. This also is what brings them back to peace within themselves. The peace seekers that I know have a strong need to be in nature of some sort and have hobbies that include hiking, camping, being on a beach or near water, golfing, bike riding, almost anything that is outdoors and in nature. For an example, have you ever seen a picture of a fly fisherman or watched a video of them fishing and felt more peaceful just watching it? They patiently cast out the line and pull it back in repeatedly as the water flows past them. Doesn't seem to matter whether they catch anything or not. They just seem to be totally at one with the river and with nature. All behavior stems from our childhood. Based on Enneagram research, personality is formed around the age of 7, and it's based on a belief that we need to be a certain way and play a certain role to get the most love and attention in our family of origin. And then we create behaviors and roles and come to believe that this is who we are, instead of behaviors we have learned to do based on a childhood belief. Throughout our lives, this is an unconscious driving motivation for how we think, feel, and react in our lives. It is what forms our personality patterns and is the basis of understanding how to get loved the way we need. What drives this behavior? From childhood, peace seekers came to believe that the best way to keep harmony in the family was to disappear, keep out of the way, and not cause anyone trouble. They learned to repress their own feelings to keep peace in an often chaotic family or where there was conflict. They learned that if they had low expectations and were undemanding, they may reduce and calm down any of the conflict there. 9 children learned to cope by seeing both sides of an argument while attempting to create a solution and reunite everyone. If they were dominated, they learned to survive by surrendering. What peace seeker children needed was harmony, quiet, an orderly life, and so would appease anyone to bring a return of the peace. They learn to surrender their needs for the sake of others, empathizing with everyone else's viewpoint and appeasing all sides of the disagreement. Many of them often feel invisible in their family and created a strategy to merge with other family members. This is how they gained their identity and created the pattern of merging and blending with others. I've heard them often say that they feel like they are the forgotten child, not noticed and overlooked. And yet, these are the patterns that they created themselves, based on a belief that they could keep the peace. And so the unconscious patterns are formed as they go forward in their lives. I just gave you an overview of the peace seeker personality type. And this is how they would describe themselves. They share with us that they see all points of view equally to their own. This is a gift and also a challenge. How do you make your own decisions and stand for what you believe in? And how do you choose just one option when all of the opinions seem to be valid? So what do they do in these situations? This is what often leads to procrastination and putting things off until the last minute. In making decisions, not everyone is always happy with your decision. So why not just avoid the unpleasantness and conflict? So they over-identify with the other person and can often be more involved in their partner's success than their own. They would rather stay in the comfort of accommodating their partner than voicing their own needs. They share that they are very attached to staying comfortable, and they're also very attached to their own creature comforts. They like to do things at their own pace, and they tell us they don't like to be pushed.